Hello everyone, Storm11 here. Today we'll be having an update on our potential big nor'easter that could affect cross parts of the northeastern US. We'll be having a little update on that, see what some of the model guys are suggesting today. We're also going to be paying attention to a little bit of a pattern change, and this could bring in possibly for more strong storms to return in the forecast as well. We'll be taking a look into that as well. Before we get started with this video, if you guys do like radar related content, you can always subscribe to my channel. We do this stuff here all the time on this channel here, and we'll also be having more updates on this as well over the next several days. So we're going to get started with the GFS model and what we got going on. We got a good amount of snow going on across parts of Colorado and Kansas. We also do have a low pressure system moving into the Gulf of Mexico. At this point, there is two pieces of energy. You got one up here, you got one down here. These two here did not really phase with each other. The reason why is that the northern piece of energy is a little bit faster, so it kind of misses out with the southern piece of energy as well. Otherwise, if they were to face correctly, we could be talking about a bigger storm today, but that's not going to be the case for today. So that's a little bit of a missed opportunity there. But our big nor'easter potential is that it's not really looking to be a missed opportunity. And you'll see what happens here. So you got this big trough that starts to dig in here. We also already have snow breaking out across the Ohio Valley. We still got a decent amount of energy up there. There's also going to be a little bit of lift to work with as well. So that's going to lead to some scattered snow showers. And it can be heavy at, well, moderate at times. And there might be a couple snow squalls that could get mixed in there as well. But where you're getting ready to notice here, you'll start to see a low that tries to develop off the southeast coast of Georgia and the Carolinas. So really by Friday evening, you got a 1,006 millibar low off the Carolina coast. And then this thing here starts to rapidly deepen. It definitely has the potential to become a bomb cyclone as well. And with those very warm sea surface temperatures going on, not only leads to a pretty good moisture supply, but it also helps deepen this low as well. Plus, there's also going to be a pretty strong subtropical jet, so that's also going to help strengthen this low as well. So there's definitely a lot of factors that's going to help strengthen this low very quickly as well. And yes, there is a chance that this can be a bomb cyclone as well, which you can see here in 6 hours. So by the morning hours on Saturday, you got a 983 millibar low, and then by noon, it's a 976 millibar low. And you can see here how it still continues to rapidly strengthen as well. This is definitely something we really have to watch for very closely because not only it can dump a lot of snow, but it's also going to create a lot of wind as well, and also some major coastal flooding as well. With all those winds there hitting up along the east coast, there could certainly be some major flooding problems with this system as well. Let's check out the Canadian model. So basically the same thing over the next couple of days here. And you do notice here with the Canadian model, it's stronger than the GFS, which if we go back to 6Z Saturday, if that's this what's set on, yes. So then on 6Z Saturday, the Canadian model is a little bit slower. It's also a little bit stronger with the low as well. And what's going to happen here is that it takes a little bit more of a westward track with it. And you also do notice here, it does get stronger earlier on as well. A 952 millibar low is pretty darn ridiculous. I mean, if that's correct, I mean, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island would probably get hit very hard by this system if that were to be correct. And even up in the parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine can also get hit hard if that's correct. And that's a big if that's going to be correct as well. And so it really makes a difference here if these two pieces of energy can face together, which we'll look at that in a little bit more detailed here in a little bit. Here's the European model in the last video. It was the most aggressive model with the pressure. If we go to 6Z here, it's actually a little bit faster with it, and it's also slightly weaker. Surprisingly enough, it actually goes a little bit westward. I think if it's going to be a little bit more progressive, I think it's going to go a little bit more eastward with it. But then again, the European model's been having a little bit of trouble over the last several systems on here, so cannot really 100% guarantee that that would happen. But we'll have to watch to see where the European model trends next. We do have some higher resolution model guidance almost through the entire event. We can still at least look into this and at least kind of predict of what could happen past the run here. I'll show you guys that with the NAM here. So pretty soon we're over the next couple of days here. And already by 18Z Friday, you got a pretty good snow shield going on across the Ohio Valley region. And then again, with some scattered to maybe widespread snow showers out there. And there could be some snow squalls mixed in there again as well. And you can see here, really by 6Z Saturday here, it's a little bit stronger than the GFS, if I'm correct. If it's slightly stronger. Actually, no. It's actually slower with it. So what could happen here is that if it trends a little bit slower here, it can get stronger earlier on. So, and it can have a little bit of a westward track. So comparing this to the GFS, GFS is slightly faster and a little bit east with it as well. So it's definitely something we need to monitor here. And you can also notice there's a big snow shield out there, but I do think that is the NAM model is going to change over the next couple of days here. Here's the highest Canadian here. This is by 0Z Saturday or Friday evening. We got 1,004 millibar low, and I do believe that is slightly, yeah, it's actually a little bit faster with that low. And if that's going to be correct, it may go a little bit further east. It may not be as strong when it gets into the northeastern U.S. as well. So really, of how progressive the system could go can really change up the forecast and its track as well. So let's kind of compare with the NAM and the GFS. The reason why the NAM is slower and probably if it were to go throughout the entire event, I guarantee it'd probably be stronger with the low. So this is what the NAM looks like here. This is at with the vorticity. It really all depends on what happens at around this point here because here's your southern piece of energy right here. You can almost kind of see your subtropical jet right here. And here's your other piece of energy a little bit further to the north as well. And when all these here kind of phase together, so this is about 18Z on Friday, this is when it really starts to really gather itself together. This is when the phasing occurs. It really by this time the northern piece of energy and southern piece of energy kind of merge with together, and then you kind of get a big system. And you do notice at this point it becomes neutrally tilt with it as well. And at this point here, your low is typically on the eastern or northeastern side of this big ball of energy of what's going on here. So that's what's kind of happening there. So setting it up to 18Z on Friday. And you notice here there is a difference here. So like GFS, you can see here it's not as negatively tilted with that piece of energy, but it's also slightly faster with it as well. And like we've seen here with the precipitation mode, that the NAM is slightly slower with it as well. So it really depends on if how fast or how slow these two pieces of energy could go, because that can make a big difference in the forecast as well. Really kind of give you guys how big the spread is. This is the GFS Ensembles here, and a little bit of a different view this time. So all these red numbers here, that's a member from the model. That's what that is. And you do see here, your mean is right here. But you also do notice at the same time, you do have members that are further west. So the possibility is still there. We could see a little bit more of a westward trend with this as well, which I think is definitely doable. But you don't have many models on the eastward side here. So I do think an eastward trend is very unlikely, but I think a westward trend is certainly possible with this as well. If we do trend a little bit west with it, more people could get involved in this big storm as well. So it's definitely something we got to keep an eye on again. And here's a little bit of a different view here. Here's your low right here. And it's got a mean of a 974 millibars. And that's pretty darn impressive for a mean like that this far out. I mean, that's pretty insane. And let's talk about that mean snowfall accumulation. And like I said in the last video, kind of look at this as a probability map. So then again, 1 inch of snow could be a 10% chance, and we'll just say at least an inch of snow. 2 inches, 20%. But when you get to 10% or higher, that's basically a 100% chance. And you do see here definitely a big eastward shift here than the last forecast. But honestly, it will not surprise me if this kind of goes back to west. We kind of expect this where malls will jump east and west. I mean, that's just to be expected. But I do think malls do get a better idea whenever we do get weather balloon data. And we do need it from those two pieces of energy. The seventh piece of energy should arrive in the United States, I believe, by Wednesday evening. And then the northern piece of energy, which will be arriving in the upper Midwest, will be happening a day later. So I think we'll have a better idea on the system here, probably as early as Thursday night or Friday morning, especially on Friday. I think Friday would be the best day of an idea we'll have on the system here as well. So there could be more changes in the forecast, especially when we get weather balloon data. Um, and they could put that to these weather models, and the weather models get a more accurate idea. And whenever that happens, it can shift to forecast, and the models can make it a little bit different as well. So that is something we need to watch, keep an eye on as well. So then again, we'll probably have a better idea on this system here, probably by either by Thursday night or Friday morning. Let's talk about beyond that potential big nor'easter. There's another setup that I'm keeping an eye on as well. This will be beginning really mid to late next week, and it's going to be a little bit different this time. It's not like your traditional cold and snowy setup in the eastern U.S. It's actually going to be some similarities to December, where you got a lot of warm air in the parts of the eastern US. And whenever that happens, it could lead to some severe weather setups, which might be a possibility. And I'm saying might be, it can change. It's going to be far out. But we'll check out the GFS on this one. This has been the most consistent model, and it's been showing this even like over the past couple of days. So it's been showing this signal for a while now. And you do notice here's 18Z on Tuesday. You do get a lot of troughing in the western U.S. The reason why we're going to have this pattern change is the PNA. The PNA is going to switch. For the pattern we've been in over the last week or two, it's been a positive PNA. Well, we're going to flip that around to a negative PNA, which is going to lead to troughing in the west, some more ridging in the east. That positive PNAO is also going to help bring in a little bit more milder air as well. And this is going to be a little bit more of a traditional La Nina setup than what we've been experiencing here. So you can see here's your first low right here by 18Z on Wednesday. The timing on this could change. But you do notice here there's another system behind that as well, attached to this cold front here. And if the GFS model is correct, you could see severe winter warm sector, and there could be a wintry mess on the backside of it. It's too early to say if there's going to be a winter storm or not. But I do believe either way, there's going to be multiple threats with some of these systems. You can have a lot of wintry weather on the backside of it. You could have flooding problems, and you could also see possibly some severe winter in the warm sector as well. So it's definitely something we need to keep an eye on over the next couple of days. We'll have to see if a third low develops along that front as well. But it's definitely something that would probably be worth mentioning now than later at this point. But it could change, but we'll keep an eye on it over the next couple of days. We'll also have a couple more updates on that as well. Let's check out the cloud predictor 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, and you can see here with that PNA changes, you got the colder air in parts of the western U.S. and warmer air in parts of the eastern U.S. And if you look into precipitation, looking to be on the wetter side around the Ozarks region, but generally a lot of people could be slightly above normal with rainfall, except for California where they may be turning a little bit drier. Here's 8 to 14 days with temperatures. I think it's going to be a little bit colder than what they are suggesting here. I think there's going to be a little bit more colder air situated up here, but I can agree on with some milder air in the parts of the eastern U.S., but We'll have to see how trends go with that. And here's a precipitation outlook, pretty similar with it, but most of that precipitation or the probabilities of above normal precipitation shifts a little bit further to the east as well. And here's their weeks 3 to 4 outlook, and this goes through February 5th to the 18th. And you do notice there's still a pretty similar setup here. Milder air in the east, colder air across parts of the north and western U.S. as well. And you do notice there they do have an area of above normal precipitation across parts of the Ohio Valley. That'll be an area we may need to watch for over the next several days as well. Now, if it's milder air here, it doesn't mean you're not going to see any snow. I could definitely see a couple setups where if that cold front's a little farther south enough, we could see a low that could develop on that front, and there could be some snow on the backside of it as well. I think this still can we can still see that potential for some systems that could produce some snow for some of the areas in the above normal region as well. But time would tell on that as well. Then again, we'll definitely have more updates on this over the next several days. But anyways, guys, this is all for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, like this video, hit the like button. If you like my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notifications so you never miss an upload. If you've got some questions about this, put the comment section down below. Alright, you guys questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye and have a good day.